Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back. My name is Matt Cooper, aka MODC Architecture, and today I'm going to be talking about how helpful crits are really, in my opinion, obviously. Long and the short of it, I think crits are great. They're essential to your architecture degree, absolutely. You need them in order to get the mark you end up getting at the end of the year, whether that be a first, 2-1, 2-2, third, or fail, I suppose. But if you've been having your crits and listening to them, then really you probably shouldn't be failing. Either way, anyway, the number one thing students, I would say, criticise about crits is that they're not actually helpful. In my opinion, they really are. Tutors only want to help you. They only want what's best for you. They're not out to get you or anything. Granted, there were a couple of occasions that I knew back at a university I was at where the tutor perhaps wasn't the most helpful towards the student. However, that was a special situation. The tutor wants to help you. The tutor only wants what's best for you. So make sure that you have that good relationship with your tutor, and your crits will be really productive, definitely. There's no chance of them not being productive. Number two, tutors need enough to go off. What I find is that when I've brought more work to a crit, I'm obviously going to get more comments. However, there's that balance between quality work and just work that's been produced because you just want to get as much done as possible so that this tutor can comment on everything. But you need to have developed that project enough yourself for the tutor to then give constructive and useful feedback to you. So make sure that you have progressed your idea enough for the tutor to be able to give you critical feedback. However, don't have done so much work that you'll have wasted your time doing hours upon hours of design work, perhaps, say, when you're only at the research stage. So your tutor is then a little scatterbrained with what to comment on and really just wants to focus on the stuff you've been doing that term. But if you've gone ahead, then you're probably going to have to change your design based on what your tutor said about your research. So yeah, don't do that. Don't go too far ahead. Just make sure you do a manageable amount of good work for that crit, so the tutor can then be really helpful towards what you've done and really push your project forward with you in a sort of discussion. The tutors may seem a bit harsh as well. That's number three. Tutors may seem a bit harsh, but it's because they can see what work you've produced and they know what you can do as a student, what the standard you can get up to based off what you've done on the crit board, or currently at the moment in the Zoom call for me. So make sure that you don't take the comments to heart. Taking comments to heart, I've done before, didn't really serve me well. I ended up not doing work for like a week, just being like, oh, my tutor's such an arse, essentially. I wasn't really happy. However, thinking back to it, the tutor only wanted to help me and gave me a bit of a wake-up call as well. So I kicked myself into gear and had another crit, and that crit went a little bit better. Still not great, but it was harsh again because he knew what I could do, and just wanted to get that out of me. So yeah, because they're harsh, it's sometimes to kick you into gear because they see you've not done enough work, and that this is sort of a rare occasion perhaps in your degree. But sometimes you may have not done enough work, and the tutor will just be a bit harsh to get you into gear so that you can push forward and not fail. Essentially, they're trying to protect you there. You know, you've invested 9.25 grand if you're going to a sort of regular university, but if you're going to a private one, it'll probably be even more than that. So you've invested money into this, and the tutors want to make sure you've essentially not wasted that money. So make sure that if the tutor is being harsh to you and are giving you a kick up the backside to get some work done, basically, it's a call to get work done now rather than be doing 7 all-nighters in 2 weeks at the end of term trying to finish up everything that you didn't do in first term. Trust me, make sure you do your work based off your crits, because if you leave it, then you will have the worst time at the end of the year. That's a big bit of advice. My personal experience from crits, well, kind of they're mixed. Sometimes I have really good ones, and sometimes I have really, really bad ones. So going back into second year, first year was terrible. We're going to look past first year, I nearly failed it. Second year, I had mostly bad crits, but then a couple of good ones where my work started to look promising. And then at that time I didn't have the experience to take it in the right direction, so I ended up having kind of a bad last crit. And that was reflected in my marks, to be fair. Did think the marks were a little harsh, but hey ho, that's fine. We move forward into third year. Third year crits were great, mostly positive. There was one where there was a balance between my project going the wrong way and the right way, and for me, I managed to talk my way into getting it to go in the right way. The tutors said that at the time. They're like, okay, you said that, which has made me think about it in this way to take you in the right direction. So it's a lot about how you present your project as well, crits, I find. You need to be able to communicate your ideas properly and not really BS, because the tutors, they'll see right through that BS. You need to make sure that you communicate your project in an effective manner, with not too much flowery stuffs, because the tutors really only want to hear how the project got from A to B and that kind of research and development within it, not sort of these strands that you perhaps thought about. If you've done research on it, show it, but if it's not really relevant, then you can sack it off. The tutors won't really want to hear it. They'll concentrate on the main theme of your project. So last video I showed you what I presented in what the Architecture Association called a jury, but it's essentially a crit. And the comments I got from that were pretty good. I was quite happy with the comments. They said that I'd done a lot of work and they liked the drawing style, which I was really happy with, because I wasn't too sure about some of the drawings that I've done. I think I need to improve some of the diagrams, but again, if you have any suggestions on how I can do infographics a little bit better, then please do leave a comment, because I'm always open to that criticism. But yeah, I was quite happy with it, and with it being, I think I presented like 67 pages. It's all A3, by the way, because it's online. They would normally be A1 pages, but they're A3 pages. Because I presented 67, they actually thought it was a little bit too much to present. Like I was a bit too fast during the presentation, so making sure you pace your presentation, that's really important. But these were all really useful comments for my next crit, which will be next term, and just for my portfolio in general. They were happy with the direction that the project was going in, and they just want me to play around more with the spatial, sort of this idea of creating space by moving the architecture. Really looking forward to that, and I'll definitely be letting you know how my next crit goes, but hopefully that was helpful. Essentially, crits are just very helpful. They're there for you. The tutors don't do them for fun. They're there so that the tutor can see where you're at and then help you develop what you've done, and then sort of harness that idea that you've got from that initial development and push your project forward into a really good place. That's what the tutors want, and that's what's sort of what's best for you. So please don't take crits to heart if it's bad comments, but if it's good comments, then it's a big high. Make sure you try and cultivate that work that you've done and push forward and try and get that first, basically. Try and do as well as you can. So yeah, that's about it for today. I think a slightly shorter video today, but it's quite a short subject, I suppose, crits. They seem to be over in a flash when you're doing them. So anyway, or they could be the longest thing that you experience in your life. But either way, thank you for watching, guys. If you did enjoy, leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here. Do leave me a comment if you've got any questions or any criticism about anything. Do let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Take care and peace.